It's been such a long time. Long time. Long time. Well, it's been like months now. I can't remember. Such a long time since I did this on my Chaos Rain channel. And I do miss y'all on this channel. You know, it's funny. It's a lot of feelings and emotions. Well, not emotions, but feelings nonetheless. I feel I should say on here with YouTube. But for like always, I'm just gonna let that stay to myself. And the reason why, because I'm at a point in life, I am somewhat mature, and I'm not let things slow me down or discourage me into what I'm trying to, I guess, accomplish through this new media they call the visual media called YouTube. I find it very ironic that when we talk about censorship and what we could put and what we can't display out here, it's becoming real on this major platform. And trust me, I say much more harsh words or language on my channel, which I will make a conscious effort to cut back. And I'm not doing this just for the sake of myself. I do this just to hopefully push the message more better or across. As y'all know, there is also another channel that deals with the articles and also specific books. It's called Zero Ends channel. So if you're not familiar with that channel, you can probably subscribe to that channel if you want to, learn something from a variety of books from my own library that I will read personally. But nonetheless, as you know, I'm back. What to start off to talk about? I think one of the few things move forward. I think I will be a little bit more harsher to let's say I was going to be a little bit more realer, because I've noticed for the last couple months, and I know this has been trending lately because of the disillusion of women and to some men as well. But for sake of conversation, men are going to act the way it is, and they know the environment, and what they do is going to be a lesson learned throughout this environment that they should impose. That, I'm not really too much concerned now what the men do overall every day. I'm not gonna focus on it like that unless I have to make a example or point about of emphasis. But overall, my thing is this: that we're really gonna turn this around. It has to be a collective effort. I think the women gotta do just as much more of their part as much the men should be doing their part as well. And especially if you have children, you have to do twice more work, especially raising and grooming your sons and daughters for the future of this, what we call technical age we live in right now. Hell, we live in the digital age now. Look, one time months ago, a lot of people was not gonna be on to the net or cyberspace or using more of the internet, i.e., video calls, more texting, hell, even communicating through the net. This is more being used, I would say, for the last over a decade. And the reason why that is because of this unknown man-made virus we have out here. So now society and the system is making you adjust to this new type of paradigm, which we call technologizing or infusing with technology, both now physically and mentally. So if you're not prepared for the mental side of things, you're not gonna be ready. And I know most young people that are Gen Zs, and I like to call a new label millennial wise, because they haven't really given a label. They said they did, but they did. I create for you. I call us millennial wise. There you go. They're the wave of the future, nonetheless. So what to start? Well, let me go through another announcements before I maybe go on this little rant. As y'all know, the shows I do on the other channel, the call-in shows that I do sometimes on a Sunday, I might start bumping it and moving it on a Monday afternoon, probably early of 12 or 3 p.m. I'm not sure what time I'm going to set it, but it's going to be around those range. It will no longer be a Friday, stream or upload at 3 o'clock. I might post one this week, but after this week, it's going to probably move straight to a Monday. And the reason why I'm just changing ways because I'm moving to a different direction on this channel. And I feel Friday is a little bit more tenuous beside a timetable that people will probably catch it or don't catch it. So I'm probably going to try a different time. And I think Monday is the best time to put it out because people are starting their week. And usually Friday, people are trying to end their week, preparing for the weekend. Okay, you know how folks are. They work 9 to 5. They work the what do you call it? 40 hours a week. So posting and doing a regular stream or upload on that time would not be beneficial moving forward. Because I know how it is, everybody works, so I get you that you don't want to sit there and watch any stream or anything like that on a particular time. So probably bumping it on a Monday will probably suit better. It probably will make more sense. And if the time is not right, I will figure that out. But I think after this week, it's going to be probably moved to a Monday. Now, in regards to the live streams I will be doing on Chaos Reign channel, I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with the timetable. All I know is it might not be a morning stream or it could be afternoon stream. It might be a late night stream. I still have to figure out what actual time I'm going to do it. And right now, that is something that I was been struggling with. I would say for the past year and a half now, maybe a year now. I could be wrong. And back then we had Google Hangouts, and Google Hangouts were very convenient. And to be honest with you, I kind of miss using Google Hangouts because Google Hangouts usually sets a timetable for a lot of people that does content on YouTube. Usually, if you're doing content on podcasting, you're have more free range. As you know, one of the more popular podcasts back a few years ago was Blog Talk Radio. Y'all familiar with that? Usually they pay a service range from under $40 to maybe close to maybe 100. I don't know. I got the time, the actual prices, but people were using that platform years ago when it first was established back in 2006 as a media outlet back then. Today, I think people still use Blog Talk Radio, if I'm not mistaken, but now they actually transitioned from Blog Talk, now moved on here on YouTube. And eventually, I've noticed now some have switched to not only using Blog Talk Radio, have now switched to Mixer. And I've seen Mixer, and to be honest, Mixer look like it could be another viable platform for people to listen in. So there's many ways you could go about podcasting or streaming on a visual outlet like a YouTube or any other media. Whatever you pick, you should always think of the cost analysis and the reward and, I guess, lack of cost, the risk reward type analysis to see what's the best way to go about it. But nonetheless, these platforms are out here now to get the best outcomes in regards to what type of thing you're trying to accomplish or do. So yeah, that's pretty much it from what I can remember. I don't think I wrote any notes on this, but that's all I'll probably say. Let me think of something. Cause it was something I did want to share because this is current events that I might show. Let me see what's going on here. I'm trying to find. I'm about to open up. All right, where is this? Okay. I'm trying to find my okay, here's my message. So let me see if I can scroll up. Okay. I'm trying to find the I did not have it on this computer, so I can't really talk about it. If I did save it here, but I did not. Surprised. So I was going to wing it. Okay. So what could I recall and say that the things that I've noticed, particularly on the YouTube space? What I've noticed, there is a lot of infighting in here. And the problem with this infight, there's nothing really building or anything growth with this infighting. And I've listened to a lot of sides, what the men are doing wrong and what the women are doing wrong. What I look at is where is it leading to, where it's going to be heading in the coming year or two. Because there's going to be a point, especially on YouTube, that this infighting, talking about other content creators, all that might soon cease to exist. Way how things are going, because this is a business platform that requires people to put out fair, decent content. As you know, we having some elections going around this year. I think that this is my thing, that most constitutional presidents, that's either a Democrat or Republican, once they're in office, they do an average. If you really check the math now, since they started putting the terms for president back after I think Franklin Del Roosevelt back in the 30s, I believe, that the average president, once he's in office, he does a period of 8 years, 2 terms. Only one particular president did not do a full, he has not done 2 terms, and that was George Bush Sr. And that was back in 1992. But after 1992, roughly now 28 years, most presidents, even far as back in the 80s or was it mid 70s? Let me think. Was it mid 70s? It might be mid 70s, but let's say around 80s, from what I can recall, and I'm not going to Wikipedia, most presidents do 2 terms besides the 1-term president. And why I'm saying is because they try and keep the game around about how this country's going to be moving forward and feel that people's vote matters. Yes, they want you to participate in the political process, the big house, the White House, but it doesn't have no effect on the overall of the country besides what's going on locally. As y'all know, depending on what state you're in, you should be voting locally and knowing who's running, what their positions are, how they feel about certain programs, certain things. Does have to be a budget cut? Does people have to, these are things that people should focus more on the local level, a very local level. And I look at the political things different from other people. As you know, most people, they like to fall under these labels as liberals, conservatives, these little alphabet names, these characteristic names, these cartoon character names that don't do crap with your life. And I'm not down for it at all. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I just don't follow it. I sometimes question black folks why you are conservative. What you conserving? You're not in a position of actual power in this nation or this country we call America. If you look at most of our politics or the number of politics, there are more non-blacks than blacks itself. And I think out of the ratio, there's probably a good heavy percent of women around that. And to be honest with you, when it's time to put somebody in certain positions of office, no one ever asks the question to a lot of black people, what are you getting out of this deal? Because every 4 or more years they do this to y'all. I just don't get it at all. I don't get it. I mean, usually this has to be a serious agenda for an actual change. That's going to change not only your environment, but what it does for your people here in this country. Other nations do it, unfortunately. Whether people want to admit it or not. But that's how this system is structured, how things work. So what you're not doing and you're sitting down, folding your hand, others will make the decision for you. And it's not going to be in your best interest at the end of the day. So I always question it. I question it a bit. Another thing. What's this? Hold on a second. Got something. Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah, sorry about that. But another question to a lot of men, that what are you really your purpose and what you're doing? Because I hear the complaints a lot. I don't like it, but I've said this on many or just a few panels about the complaints about the women in this community. And even the one of the major issues that, well, not only the leadership, but really about the things that's hurting you politically as a brother. I understand the reason. I get it. I follow you. But it comes down to, as a man at the end of the day, and I have to be honest as a man, 'cause I look at myself in the mirror, what we as men gonna really do about it? Because to keep talking about and then using the shame tag said that, you know, that we should not be talking about because if we be silent, nothing gets done. And well, nothing's getting done anyway. I'm just be down, brothers. The silence or not doing anything at a local political direction, all it is just crickets. And it hurts me to say this, but I'm in hearing this story for a few years now, before I even heard of a men or man spirit space. I tell you one thing, what I did learn. There are so many policies put in this country that affects men. And it makes why it's not enough men, not every percent men, but just enough, doing the necessary what's necessary to change the basic policies. Because if you know about it, child support is not gonna leave us in America or anywhere across America. Outside America, they have child support laws. They might not be as strenuous here in America. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, these things are developed and set place by other groups of men. And majority of men outside America is still run by men of another group that's not mostly us race people overall. Matter of fact, I go even a step further. If you notice, child support is only roughly almost 85 years old, or what they call 87 maybe. And all these policies put out to place was designed for men that does want to uphold their responsibilities as men. Now, if y'all remember, during the 30s, when they start initiating and creating certain policies to start rewarding mothers of children that were married to the husbands to get some incentive for a man that decides that if his wife got too fat, he got bored, he just go out in the environment and go find himself another woman and start a new family while leaving the old family around. That is a Eurocentric behavior. I don't care what anybody tells me. They can cuss me out all I want. Because I don't remember anything in history before we were, as a race people, conquered by non-black people going on around the 1400s, that you don't hear anything about bastard baby making or men not taking care of their children. This is all new. And the reason why it's new because this is constructed by other groups of men. They have a track record of bastardization. Hell, they probably start doing now that we don't know about because the media doesn't talk about it, ironically. When you see the black man engage in bastardization, you know where he got it from. Not only is embedded him genetically, but is a learned behavior nonetheless. And that's the consequence living in this country for more than a century or two. You develop actual bad habits from others, and is embedded in you genetically. And the dudes that complain about it, and I get it because a lot of women, because of their mate selection, they will use this system now to get something than nothing. And not like they wouldn't pick the dude that they're not sexually attracted to. They feel it's convenient to try to if they get sex from another man and get knocked up, and no one says that most likely it's not his kid, he'll just leave the baby on the next person. Who's this? Oh, what's good, Art? Um, I'm just going to drop the link if anybody want to come up, and this is optional. Copy. So, like I said, that's the one thing I can see why a lot of dudes will have complained about. But like always, now because we have technology helping us with little small problems, and now we could check who the baby is now for the last maybe decade and a half, that there's not really much excuse to make sure it's your child. The only thing now with the laws put in place, and I remember there was an article that I did a live stream or upload about one lady from Georgia wanted to put more laws against the man because now they might not get the luxury to abort a child. That tells me, as a man, whew, you very loose what you want. And now, if we look at now today, the average now is more than half the black male population doesn't have children. So the black male population have children. I would say the sisters might be almost up there in the same percentage that doesn't have children as well. So there's not really much excuse about the bastardization of the community. We're not having kids like that, unfortunately. If you hear a small pool of women, those are women that on the average, and this is just the average now, are roughly millennials and early Gen Zs. But after a certain part of the Gen Zs, you don't see them having children like that. Because if I look at it now, when I do the, if I Google it, let me Google it right now. Let's take a look at Google. Earth. Okay. Let's check. I'm just gonna check it first before I share my screen. I gotta look at this first. I gotta know how recent this was. This look like this might be old, so that I'm not gonna use. Date, brief, number. All right. Yeah. This is not, that's too old. Let's go down further. Last time I checked, it was like roughly 18 years, but that was like years ago. Yeah, the only thing I see right now is only from 2 years ago. It's hard to get a pinpoint, so this, man, should I share it? Yeah, I'll share it. I might share my screen a little bit, make sure which one is one. Is this the one? This is Central Intelligence one. The World Facebook note that mother meaning. Okay. I think I found something. But this is more of the global thing. I want to focus on America first. All right, well, we'll use this one. This is Central Intelligence Agency Library World Facebook. All right, so as I share my screen, let me see how to do this. All right. Okay. as y'all can see, and I'll make this bigger. All right, let me check. And we're gonna make this a little bigger so y'all can see this. We're gonna go. We'll probably look at the whole world, but let's look at United States. That's perfect. Y'all can see that. All right. In the United States, this is the average, and from the looks of it, it says here since for the last 5 years, the average age of childbearing age is roughly 26 years old. Now, I remember looking at not the FBI, but I remember was it maybe 2 3 years ago when I was searching something, it did said the age for mothers was roughly 18 years old, but that was an old statistic, and I think that was going on around the 2000 era. I believe it's around, yeah, I'm right. It was around 2000 era because this was posted in 2015. So after 10 years, and it's roughly 5 years, it has bumped up gradually, and that's just America. The youngest outside the world that's given childbirth age of the first child, and it looks to me it could be Afghanistan. Afghanistan is 20. No, no, my fault. It's not Afghanistan. It's going down. Hmm. Okay. Don't mind me, people. I'm scrolling down because I saw one that was the youngest at 17 years of age. All right. So the youngest in the world that's giving birth at a certain age is 17 point something. And that is in Chad, right here. And I'm gonna zoom in so I can see that better. This is the youngest, the average age, roughly 18 years of age. And people know what Chad is. Let's see, what is Chad? It's in Africa. Imagine that. It's in Africa. And this is like the upper north of Africa. It's in Sahara Desert, the Sahara Desert. Government, economic, energy, communication, military, security, transport, people and society. All right. Roughly it's 16 million. Nationality. Ethnic groups. Sarah. Mm-hmm. French, Arabic, Sarah South. 122 different languages and dialect. So mostly it's French and Arabic. So it's mostly Arab Muslim country. Hmm. A lot of males. Well, it's actually more females. 1 million. Okay. So like they have more males than females. And median age is 16 years, 15, 15, 16 females. So that's why. So this will explain why it's roughly 18 years of birth age. Median age is 16.5 from 2020. Roughly 16 for males. Growth is 3.18. Birth rate 41.7 births, 1,000 population 220. And death rate is 10 out of 1,000. See, mother's median range is from 5 years ago was 18 years old. And this is the medium age. This is the medium range back 5 years ago. And the middle age 25 to 29, straight through. So usually the first birth is first child as 18 years old, and then it might somewhat cut off around this range, 25 to 29. So they might have more than one child and might have stopped around 29 from what I said the median age. Okay, so going down. Degree of risk. So BC rate, 6.1%. So not a lot of fat people in that part of Africa. Underweight, roughly almost 29%. It's the literacy rate of this country, 15 years old, can read and write French and Arabic. And school life expectancy, primary to tertiary education, 8 years. Males, 9. Females, 6. So they always focus more education on the boys. And it goes back to this thing about notion that, especially in this country, and I'm going to go back, that this is Africa. The males spend more time in school than the females. This is school life expectancy, primary to tertiary education. 9 years. Female 6. Why is that? Because they know said men are going to be the producers. And they can't afford the women be more or have the more access of so-called education than the boys. Let's go further down. I like this. I might leave this in the description at the end of the stream. So that is the youngest. So what is the oldest? All across the board. Let's look. We got Greece at roughly 30 years old. What else? Ireland, roughly 31 years of old is the earliest age of first childbirth. Same thing with Italy, both of them roughly in the wall stage for women. Japan's up there as well. So it's 3 countries. Japan, 31. Italy, roughly 31. Greece, same age. No, Ireland. Oh, I forgot. Second to 30 is Hong Kong. Hungary, up there. Luxembourg, I think that's in Germany. 30 of years age. It's a lot. This is totally a lot. Netherlands, roughly 30 years of age. Nicaragua, younger. Norway, Poland, Portugal, 30 years of age, first year of childbirth for women. Serbia, 28. Singapore, that's as an Asian country, 30 years old. Slovenia, 29. Spain, 30. Wow. Spain, 31 years of age, first child. Sweden, 29. Switzerland, 31 years of age. Interesting. So if I can count from the country that have roughly the average that gives birth for a child, or for mother that's a female that's giving birth for the first time for one child, there are several countries that range from 30 to 31. And I'm gonna run it to y'all one more time. The first country is Ireland. Right here. Ireland is the first country. The second country, Italy. These are all over 30. Third country, Japan, 30. Korea and South Korea, 31. So right now, Korea and South Korea is the top. The number one country that a woman of their country that's giving birth for the first time, the average age is 31 years of age. So this is the top. So that's 4 countries right now that's touching 30 years of age. The fifth, Luxembourg, 30 years old, first child, first time having birth. Netherlands, roughly 30. Norway is up there because it's not 30, but it's close to that. It's 29. So that's like 6 now. That's in the 30s. The 7th, Portugal. Singapore, roughly 30. That's 8. Spain, that's 9. Switzerland, that's 10. And that's it. So roughly 10 countries. And what's the one link you notice out of all those 10 countries that I named, that's their average age for a woman to expect her first child, that's in the 30 range? Those are mostly Eurocentric and Asian countries. The top of the list is Korea and South Korea. But let's go into details to South and North Korea. See, why is that? Could they be more educated? Women being educated, not giving birth? Is that the reason? We shall see. Let me see if I can find it. Let's check. All right. Ethnic group, homogenous. Korean English, widely taught by elementary junior, so they learn English as well as Korean language. Religion, Buddhist, Protestant, Catholic, very low, none. Ages range from check how many. All right. Now, one thing I've noticed, there's a lot of males, more males than females in certain parts. As they go older, there are more women than men. Why is this? is because y'all know women live longer than men, as you could tell from here. And as they get older, it's downhill. Okay. All right. Total dependency ratio 39.5. Youth dependency ratio 17.5. Elderly dependent ratio 22%. Median age total 43 years of age. I guess that's maybe the average. Who knows? Males 41.6. Females 45 years. Population growth 0.39. Birth rates 8.2 births. Death rate 6.8 out of 1,000. They got urbanization as well. Now, the sex ratio at birth 1.5 males and females, 1.6 males, females, 1.1 males and females, and it just goes downhill. Median range first child 31 years of age, like I said earlier. Infant mortality rate 3 deaths out of 1,000 live births. Males 3.2 deaths out of 1,000 live births. Females 2.8 deaths out of 1,000 live births. The life expectancy of births in Korea or South Korea, one or the other, is age roughly 83 years of age. Males live to 79.4 years. Females lived around 86. Yeah. Total fertility rate 1.29 children born of women. Contraceptive prevalence rate 79.6% of 2015 from ages 20 to 49. Okay. They have no HIV, none of that in their country, which is good. Okay. Obesity rate in Asia, roughly 4.7%. Underweight, 0.7. Education, 5.3 from GDP. Literacy rate, age 15 and over can read and write. Yep. Total population, 98%. Males, 992%. Females, 96.6. Okay. So it goes back always. They always emphasize of educating their males and females. This is very interesting. I'm surprised we don't really look into the actual demographics of a lot of things. This is very interesting. And school life expectancy, total 17 years. Male 17 years old. Female 16 years. I might start to take a look at the United States, see how we fared up. All right. Let's keep looking. All right. Let's look at the United States because I can go on and on, but let's check where we stand. And I'm gonna look at United States and United Kingdom, see the comparison. Now, mind you, it goes back. This is 5 years ago. And now we have a 2010 census that will not be released till sometime, I think in the middle of 2021, maybe. I could be wrong. All right. Let's see how accurate this is. All right. This including only 50 states, District Columbia, no overseas territory area. Okay. Most temperate, nope. Nope. Agricultural land, that's like 44.5% from 2011. No. Forest, 33.3% since 2011. So we're up there. Okay. Large urban clusters spread throughout the eastern USA. No, that's not it. Volcanism, natural hazards in Hawaii Islands, West Alaska, Pacific Northwest. Nah, that's not it. No. Nope. All right. The population now from July 2020 is roughly 332,639,102. Country compared to the world, third. Okay. Ethnic groups. Now, the ethnic groups breakdown in America since 2015 is European, white, 72.4%. So that if we look at it, out of 332 million, that's down. We 70% white, or what they label as white. Blacks is 12.6, which really is actually 13%. I don't know why this thing it says keep going down, but that's another story. Roughly 5% Asian, 0.9% Alaskan. And it said here Hispanic is not included because the U.S. Census Bureau considers Hispanic to mean person of Spanish, Hispanic, Latino origin, including those of Mexican, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican, etc., and living in the United States. White, black, Asian, etc. Language, primarily English by roughly 8%, Spanish 13%, Chinese 1%, others 7.3%. Okay. Religion, we all know the highest religion in America is, from looks of it, is Protestant. And I gotta check the definition what a Protestant is, but that's the highest right now. Okay. And the second is Roman Catholic, 20%. Jewish is like 1.9%, which I don't know, that's kind of small though. We have people that's Jewish in America. Well, if they label themselves as Jewish, I mean, so it says 1.9, can't knock that. Let's go down. Age structure, 31,000 or 31 million, females 30 million from 0 to 14. 15 for 24 is 12.91%. Males roughly 21 million, females 21 million. So it's actually close in a way. There's still more male than females from a certain race, but they have not broken down from ethnic groups in this percentage. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go down. Dependency ratio 53.9. Youth dependency ratio 28.3. So there's more dependent on youth than elderly. Median age 38.5 years in America. Okay. Males 37.2 years, females 39.8, so 40 for women. Population growth rate is 0.72. It's not that big because more non-blacks than blacks itself. Birth rate 12.4 births out of 1,000. Death rate 8.3 deaths out of 1,000. Net margin 3 migrants. Population distribution. Urban population is roughly 82.7%. Rate urbanization is 0.95% annual rate of change from 2015 to 2020. The major urban areas of population 18.804 million is in Newark, that's New Jersey. 12.44 is in million is in Los Angeles, Long Beach, St. Anne's. 8.865 million, Chicago. 6.3 something million in Houston. 6.301 million, Dallas, Fort Worth, and 5.32 million is in Washington, D.C., the capital. So the largest right now is in New York City. Not surprised. The sex ratio is roughly 1.4 all across the border, as you can tell. The mother's mean age for first birth right now in this country since 2015 is 26 years old. Maternal mortality rate, 19 deaths out of 100,000 live births. Infant mortality rate is 5.3 deaths. Males 5.7, females 4.9. Life expectancy in America totally is 80 years old. Okay. Males 78 years, females 82.5. Now, when they talk about the 78 years for males at 82.5, this is only dealing with people that are Eurocentric or European descent, as you can tell here, because the mid-life expectancy of Black people, from let's say Black man, Black woman, Black man is roughly pushing 69 years old, and the Black female is roughly almost 79. So, total fertility rate 1.84 children born of women. So, I think that's much. It's not. I think that's low. Constant rate, prevalent rate is 75.9%. Improved urban, 100% of population. Rural, 97% of population. Total, 99% of the population. Unimproved, urban, 0% population. Rural, 3% population. Total, 1% of the population. Current health expectancy is 17.1%. Physical density, that's population, I'm not going to focus on that. Sanitation, so 100%. From what they say. The obesity rate in America, 36.2%. That is almost pushing 40%. That's bad. See that? So it's proving the fact that we are very much a fat nation. And welcome to our partner, Jared. Charles.
Woo, what's up?
That's good. That's good. I was just doing my my thing, man. It's been a while since I did a show on this channel. I'm back.
Yep.
I was just going through the numbers briefly because I was thinking about childbirth, and the what does it say? The age, the average, and I'll give you a rundown, bro. Out of the 10 countries outside of America, those 10 countries, most of them are most heavily Asian and European countries, their average, these 10 countries, was roughly 30 years of age for the first time a woman gave birth to first child. And mind you, I always said there must be a fact that goes into why. And I always think it was the education, but and then again, I think again that a lot of them don't have children like that. You know what I'm saying? And struggle.
Yeah.
So something they're doing for them to have the first time birth at their age. Whereas really it's a wall age, if you think about it.
Yeah.
In America. So as I'm going down to America, coming to the United States, now look at the percentage. And mind, this is the FBI statistics, right? From 5 years ago. They show here about the education now. Listen good. School like primary education and expectancy or to childcare education. Males 68, female 17. Now, right here, bro, I checked 2 countries. Do you know the men are more educated than women? But here in this country, only women is educated more than men. Isn't that a problem? How do you find that?
That's the reason why the country's going stagnant.
There you go. Exactly. Because what I'm saying that the female has more time and experience education than boys. So it tells you they did this deliberate.
Of course.
Yeah. And I tell people you could check through this during the description, or I leave in the comment section at the end of the stream or this podcast. But I'm just looking at a few countries, one in Asia, one in some part of Africa, and I noticed they emphasize educated boys than the women. That is not surprising. So when they were talking about what they could do better, this country better, the situation of people, well, you gotta start educating your boys. There's no way around it. And that was just United States. Now, if I click onto United Kingdom and I go down, let's look. Okay. Oh no, because America and United Kingdom are one the same, so don't be fooled, people. What's this? Citizenship by birth? No. Okay, let me go down. Find a real elective one. And this has more information because it's a little older. What's this? That's national anthem like that. Communications, military communications, economics. Let's go down. And going down. All right. Mine just a lot of dribble right here, guys. I'm just scanning through this. All right. Okay. The internet country code. Let's see if this is the one. No, that's not it. All right, let me go back up. I'm trying to find everything on here, guys. Okay, every time you click on this, it gives you different numbers. Okay. I'm trying to find independency. All right. This is the one. Sorry, guys. Graphics. This should be the one. Okay. Nope. I'm trying to find something here. Okay. Yeah, look at the United Kingdom's not giving much detail about the sex, the age range, the birth rate like that. You think they would? Okay. The ethnicity group of United Kingdom roughly is, the white country, so it's 80, almost roughly 9% white. Everybody else is 3%, and they keep it that way. Age structure: 17 years of age from 0 to 14, 15 years for 11, 25 through 54, 39%. Dependency ratio: youth is 27%, elder is 29. Mid-age or medium age is 41 years of age, 39 for males, 41 for females. Population growth.
Hold up, wait a minute, go back.
What do you want to find?
You know what that means?
Which one? This?
Yeah.
What that mean?
That, that means you got a lot of spinsters.
Oh. I never thought about that, Charles. Let me keep going now. I'm trying to find the education part, because I didn't know that they quantificate of the average age a person spent time in school. I didn't know that when I came from the FBI.
Or the average time, or the average years.
But that's very important. That's very important, because they always talk
28 years for the first mother, medium age.
Oh, the median age, yeah. If you see the median age, it's like 47. I'm 42 years old.
No, go down. It says for sex range.
Okay.
For mothers, mean age at birth.
Oh, it's right here. Roughly
28.
close to 29 years of age in United Kingdom. So we all know it's much longer in London, United Kingdom, in Europe, much longer. You know, it's almost 29 years of age just to have your first child. And mortality rate, 7 deaths out of 1,000. We all know that. Infant mortality rates, yeah, up to 4.1 deaths. Females, 30.7. Okay. Life expectancy, 81 years of age. So they're like in America, like by 1 year longer. The males, roughly the same in America, same for the United Kingdom, same for the females. And mind, this is only talking about European people, not everybody in general, because they separate black from white, mind you. Which they don't keep data on that. Children born, okay, 1.86 children born from 2020. Current health expectancy, 9.6. Physical density, hospital bed density improvement, all 100% all across the board. There's no HIV, there's death.
Should be clean water. It's a first world country. It's funny how you can have like Flint, Michigan, in the premier first world country.
Hey, but look, like I said, the only time about them, bro, they're not really being honest with the study. You know, obesity rate 27.8. You know how much was in America? 36.6% obesity.
Obesity.
So, bro, that's much. Anything that's approaching close to 40 is bad.
I'm gonna put it to you this way: we talk about fighting racism, we gotta fight obesity. You're more likely to die of heart disease than a lynching nowadays. Or, I mean, think about it. I got into a conversation with a friend of mine about this. I said, "What does an overweight chick benefit you? What does an overweight guy benefit you?"
Yeah.
There was this video of this lady. She has the world's biggest hips because she's fat. Her kids have to help her from off the couch. Her hips are so fat and so wide that she has to go through the hallway sideways.
That's bad. That's bad, bro.
And of course, you know, my homegirl always send me these pictures of guys with these overweight chicks. They seem like they're in love. It seems like she's paying all the bills. You telling me a man of means is gonna pay extra amount of money to be with some fat chick?
That's another bill that a man doesn't want to take on, bro. Let's keep it honest.
And then guess what? She's gonna eat like hell, and she's gonna have all these health issues. What are you teaching your kids? They have daughters, like 3 or 4 daughters. like, like I told somebody, I said, look, tell a black woman to work out. It's like cussing her out.
Mm.
Well, I'm good. I look good. And my homegirl tried to say, well, you know, there's some people who are 10 in the face. I said, look, repeat after me. There are no such thing as 250-pound 10. Never have, never will. Stop joking yourself. When you got two chins, you look cute. Monkeys and little piglets are cute. You just no, that's not cute.
Oh, it's
To
not cute.
have to have a face that looks like, oh god. You remember that Kellogg's Raisin Bran son? That's how they be looking at the face, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cute.
Yeah.
You should never convince your kids that fat is good. Being overweight is good.
Mm-hmm. But it goes back again. As long as they get access to some man's phallus, they good.
Well, that's the part. You should see her husband bragging on her hips and butt. I'm like, this low tier.
Man, the man's broke, man. Let's keep honest. Any man that's sit there and then comfortable being wifed up to that, I gotta look at this bro and say, bro, is she paying all the bills?
Yeah, I'm sorry. She was like, what about the skinny guy who loves his wife? I mean, I love too, but you know he guaranteed his PlayStation 5 already.
Yeah, she gonna pay for that shit.
I'm like this. Here's my shit. Being that severely overweight is detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
It's dangerous because now you're bringing diseases into your bloodline that could be prevented.
Mm-hmm.
Why does diabetes run in your family? Because nobody runs in your family.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets harder to lose weight. Like how how long did it take for you to get like that?
I mean, she had to probably work hard to get like that. She just,
Sedimentary lifestyle. Think about this. When you get to the first world countries, you ever notice the women stay in school longer?
bro. Did you, I just now I'm scrolling down right now. If you can see in America and now in United Kingdom, you know, it's the average range of school expectancy for primary to tertiary. Here, the total is 19 years of age. Males 18, females 20. And I tell you before, if your males don't spend more time in school than the females, something wrong here. I'm looking at a few countries. A lot of the males spend, they make it mandatory that the men have to be more educated than women.
But here's the crazy part. They talk about education like it's a totality. Well, a lot of times you got to look at it. A lot of the chicks who go to these schools are going for bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, salute to the women who go to school for being a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, something that could actually push the world forward. But when you're going for, and even nurses, because we damn sure need nurses, but when you're going for art and shit like that, and I'm getting my master's degree in communications. Like, what the fuck is that?
That's a low level degree right there, man. Communications, come on, man. Really?
And I'm gonna be an English major. Really? You're gonna put yourself in thousands, and hundreds, not even hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt for a fucking English major.
Mm.
If you're gonna be with a woman who's educated, college educated, the least she could do is be an MD.
Mm.
You know, an engineer, something. The same thing I would say to a brother. Like, you're gonna go be an English major to do what? Because now, being an English major, you gotta go. You gotta go get a job. The only way I could see an English major working is like maybe writing the articles, maybe an English teacher.
Yeah, or probably be in the newspaper.
Do you know how much English teachers start out with?
What's the average range?
Jesus Christ. Here's the craziness of it all. I'll even look it up for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'm in front of a goddamn computer.
Mm-hmm. As you look, I'm looking down at Zambia or Zimbabwe? What is this? Zambia. I'm looking down here, and age range 20 years. Tendency ratio. Median age is 16, roughly 17 years of age. Males 17, females 17. Population growth 2.89%. Birth rates 40.4 births per 1,000. Could have more kids. Cause they don't live long. Sex ratio. Okay. Mother median age childbirth roughly 19 years of age. Mostly when they got out of high school, depending they got high school earlier, but that's 18 or 17 was it actually was roughly 18 years over a decade ago, or back in the 2000s. Roughly. Now it just went up to 26.
Here's a really weird shit, right? In English, at an international school, you can make between, let me see, basically 16 to 2,500 per month. And this is going overseas doing it. English teacher salaries are among the highest in the world, where a teacher can earn between 16 to 37,000 per year.
It's not money though.
Huh?
That's how much they'll make
if they go abroad.
Well, I think it's 37K a year. That's a little bit more than up here. Cause I think they're paying like 30K. I could be wrong.
How much does a teacher in the United States make? Between 50,000 to 66.
And you think that teachers should get paid a little more, but they don't got education like this in this country.
Write that down for a minute. I'll write it down for you. 50 to 66.
Okay. All right. And this is just with a 4-year degree, or this is something higher?
4-year degree.
Okay, well, that's a start. I mean, okay, I can't knock that. This is a start though. Better than 30K. I heard some teachers were making 30K a year. I don't know.
That's so.
I wish Art would have came up here. Art is in the school district. I think he teaches high school. But, yeah. And they said now to get tenure, you had to be doing it for like over a decade in education. Some is you have to. But you see, the one beautiful thing about education, Charles, it is a little more safer, because once you get to a certain level in education, or you stay in it for a while, that you don't get like booted out easily. Education, because I don't think education is privatized like that. I can wrong. I got to check. I got to ruling that. But if it's not, you're more. It's more a job security education. You don't have to really perform to keep your job.
No. I'll go by Forbes, right? You know, Forbes, is that a respectable source?
Yeah.
Okay. And the state of Maryland, which is ranked 15th out of all 50 states out of the pay, the average annual wage for an officer back in we're going to go from 16, 17, 18, 19. State of Maryland, okay? I'm going to read the first one. In 16, it was 64,000. 17, it was 66,000.
Okay.
18, it was 68,000. and now it's the average is 71,000.
Okay.
That's a big jump in 4 years, from 64 to 71.
Yeah, that's a big jump. Totally.
Compared to Michigan, where they went from 57,000 in 16. Guess how much their jump went up to?
Much.
58.
Okay.
So they only went up like what, $1,000, $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and remember, a lot of people give up these jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to remember that.
Yep.
You shouldn't go to the white man's police department.
Mm-hmm.
I know California right now makes about 105,000, but the cost of living so damn high.
Yeah, because the cost of living is very expensive. But if they do some overtime, you can make over 6 figures in California. You do the right overtime as a police officer.
But yeah, we gonna make sure they don't make any money because we making no money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy, I tell you, we're gonna defund the police department. Yeah, how's that work? Like you really think they're gonna spend that goddamn money on you? Like, good God Almighty, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, see, I feel like Seinfeld sometimes. Where do they find these people? Let me see.
All right. The average fertility rate in Zambia is roughly 5.5 children. So right, and concepts like 49%. So I'm trying to find out the educational part. All right. Well, HIV/AIDS death obviously is going to 17%. All right. Major infection disease, very high, obviously. Obesity, obviously there's no obesity in Zambia. It's 8.1%. You know, they don't eat processed food like how we eat up here in America.
Obesity. Yeah. We should just put obesity as our arch enemy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now, literacy rate, age 15 over, can read and write English. Yeah. Obviously, because they don't have too much distractions from last my check. Total population, 86.7%. Males, 90. Females. The one thing I just don't understand why there's more males and females in that country, but that's another story. Well, at least, it's probably bad. Like in Asia, they want more males than females. I don't know why they think like that. It's kind of backwards, but it's another story. Let's see, literacy rate. I was trying to find a school. How do they stay in school? Well, it won't say per se. But from what I'm looking so far, scanning through this, it's proven evident that outside of America and Europe, they make an emphasis to educate the women more than the men, and we see how that's turning out. But America is doing it very much disservice. Very much disservice. It's no good. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. I'm trying to you came up. The youngest, the country that has women that's giving birth under the age of 20 is Chad, and that's some part upper northern Africa. It's roughly 18 years of age. Is youngest for first child. So,
I tell you.
I tell you, people. I think people got the point. And like I said, guys, I will put this in the description at the end of this video for y'all to look for yourself. Yeah. Oh, Triple X, what's good, bro? Yeah, and the link's there if you want to jump up Triple X option. But it shows the fact that how this is this country is running, how things are going, they really set themselves up for their demise. You think about it. And I'm not knocking women should not be educated. No one's saying that, but it shows me when you focus and structure your school system in regards to for women, this is what you have the effects of how your country's gonna prosper moving forward. And all the other facts that add in that they totally want to overrun and overdraw this country, like what they call those things, the gynocracy or what they call it, some special words they call it here in America. They intentionally did this deliberately, you know. Maybe they're afraid that certain governments will do certain things that will affect people, and they don't want the men to be at a certain level to really fight back. Maybe that's my reason why they do it. That's not a story, but there's a plot and a scheme why they educate more the women than men, you know. And the problem is that there's no balance. You have women call in and say that they still looking for a quality man, but they have the debt. The schools that they go to or the education is something that's not to par. It's mostly in liberal arts. It's not something that's major that's really would count. You get me? You shouldn't even go to school for. If you're gonna go, you do it for like maybe 2 years or something like that, and then work your way up some other way. But you're not staying there for the long haul for a degree that is actually useless in this technical society. You know, certain things could be automated now, bro, that we haven't really touched the surface. To be honest with you, and people getting these same worthless degrees. As much as I don't want to admit it, but you know, when the job market shifted as it did, and this economic shifted badly this year, a lot of women turned to prostitution. It blew up. A lot of women that couldn't find work, they went and turned into the sex game. And here's another thing. I'm only telling you this. You know, it's funny how what am I saying? How a lot of women feel that because they were baby mama, that they feel they're not low quality, or the way how certain men like Mr. Samuels let them know what it is, they have a problem with it, the definition of the word. But a lot of women want to redefine and change the definition of the word. And I say you can't do that. If you're never married before having a child, you are actually quote unquote labeled as a baby mama. I don't care what it is. You gotta accept it. I don't care what age you decide to have children. The world doesn't owe you nothing. The world is as it is. And men will judge and look at you like that. And a lot of women, Charles, does not like it. They really want to hear the lie than the truth. But you know, like I said, who could tell them the truth? Who could be honest with black women nowadays?
Definitely not going to be themselves.
Hell no, man. It's why would another one want to be honest with another black woman? It will hurt her because now if she knows how the world operates, how her position in the world, you think she's going to be honest with other women?
No, hell no. She's not going to be definitely to herself.
Mm-hmm. And she's trying to compete with a small pool of men, not the great men, because most other men don't really check them for that. But just the pool of men alone. You know? And I'll probably mention this. There was something else done on another channel with some females. And they were concerned about, you know, save yourself, black man. And how most men, especially dudes that either go to school or graduate, how they're more dating out, marrying out. And now they find that their children are not even given the time of day for black girls. And I tell you, this is the effect of what women have portrayed themselves for the last few decades. And not really think it's not only a problem, but it's something that you could adjust and change and correct. But you're not doing what's necessary or what you should be doing to change it. Unfortunately. So,
Think about it, right?
mhm.
I'm glad you talked about the fitness and the overall health of people.
Mhm.
This is back in the 1940s. I'm reading about a woman named Abby Stockton, right?
Mhm.
Abby Stockton was made her name in the 1930s and 40s, making her one of the biggest pioneers in female powerlifting. She found success in touring with her husband and her friend around the Los Angeles area. The main part of her routine that earned her notoriety, including the 5'5", 115-pound lady, go ahead and 5'5", 115-pound lady nowadays. And she actually lifted her husband over her head.
Mhm.
And she's actually fit. This is back in the 40s. 5'5". It's kind of funny how you tell women not to lift weights. It's gonna make me look like a man.
Mhm.
But nowadays they look like power lifters anyway. So what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. But women should always try to tone their body. They should not get too masculine. There has to be, as a woman, you want to be able to shape your body where you look still good and still have that sexy curve. You know, that real athletic curve. Not too bulky, not too.
I mean,
But if it's a brown fit, good. But
if
they.
you're an athlete, I can understand.
Mhm.
If you're an athlete, I can understand because if you're in athletics, you got to have a certain build. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if you're if you are just big for no reason, now I'm not saying overweight because there's plenty of female athletes who are in great shape, still have their feminine curves and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But Jesus Christ, there are some ladies out there I've seen like it's ridiculous.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, it goes back. You can't be lazy as a woman. Let's keep it
Uh-uh.
100. I mean, if you make the dedication throughout your life to go to school, take the hours study, those to get, let's say, the degree, and it could be any degree you get into. Now you could take the obvious time to improve not only your mind but your natural health as a woman. But health and wellness is not the priority in the Black community, unfortunately.
Uh-uh. I'll tell you one thing about it. It's like it's like cussing somebody out. It's like cussing somebody out,
Mhm.
and you could literally tell somebody, "Hey, we're looking out for your health. We're looking out for this." Nobody gives a fuck.
Mhm.
Anytime you got the body shaming, you can't body shame her. Well, you're gonna have to resuscitate her too.
Mhm.
Oh man,
Mhm.
you can't body shame her.
Well, say no, but let's keep it real. A lot of women, when they talk about body shaming and all stuff, and I say, well, let's keep it real. If you're a woman and let's be honest, if you go and you stand in front of a mirror in your bathroom, a nice good sized mirror, you step back and take off all your clothes. You should always ask this question as one. Just you as one, ladies. Am I effable?
No,
Does someone want to make love, some passion love, and give me that back blown experience? Let's keep 100. If you can't,
Simon.
right? Uh,
Let's even go out of that one.
mhm.
Like, the reason why they have such poor attitudes is because they don't like themselves. They don't like what they see in the mirror.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Not even a sexual thing. It's like come on.
Mhm.
You gotta love yourself at some point. No difference when I see a guy sitting down and he's overweight. Come on, do something with yourself.
Yeah, I agree. At least do something with that. Prove something. I don't know, man. But like I said, at the end of the day, because I am back, I'm trying not to make this slash for too long. People is almost pushing at that, but to the point of this, besides current events and my thoughts, I look at this community in this sector, or anything that we do, it has to count. It won't make much change, but at least be direct and honest. If we can't be honest on certain things, talking points, and let's really have this sit down discussion, then what's the point? You said personally, Charles, when people always like the females calling you that you bashing, you don't like sisters and all stuff. I say they just don't know you like that. You get me? I mean, if they sit there and have the conversation with you, they'll find that you're pretty fair dude.
And let's put it out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's put that shit out there. If bashing you will get you healthy, then bash away.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody shooting that feelings, guess what? Somebody cared enough to tell you that you need to do something about it.
Yeah. Because if no one really care, what's the thing you notice? A person will say anything to make you feel good, or they won't say nothing at all. That's the thing. But if they say something, that most likely that they do care.
Yeah.
And ladies, you're going to come to the that the men that are more vocal, they do have a heart. And not saying it's for for your for your lack of benefit. They're saying things that you don't want to hear. Because think about it, men overall day, Charles, they deal with reality, and we deal with and operate as what is given to us in front. No argument. It's just the only our counterparts feel that being lied to is the best thing, But
yep,
you know how things go. But I'm pushing longer than I have to be. Any closing remarks, Mr. Faulkner?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Woo! Oh yes, always. And let me end off with more music for all y'all. Let the chaos